So last January, I was very blessed after quite a process to adopt a baby boy, this little dude right here. And this is Tucker James. And Tucker was born in St. Petersburg, Florida, um, to a wonderful birth mom who knew that she couldn't take care of him. And when he was born, he ended up going into the NICU for 12 days because the birth mom had an infection. And as they're super careful, they wanted to make sure that everything was fine and that he was fine. And she had also been living on the streets, and they just didn't know from a lifestyle standpoint if she had been doing anything that would have impacted him. And turns out he was perfectly healthy, but they wanted to make sure of a lot of different things. So after he was born, he was taken immediately to the NICU, and we were in St. Petersburg. I was in St. Petersburg for 12 days. And we didn't know immediately what would happen, how long. I thought maybe he'd be there 3 or 4 days, and then they came back and said, we want to put him on a course of penicillin just to make sure he doesn't have this infection. And so he actually was there for, like I said, 12 days, and I would have had to stay in a hotel. And what happened is the hospital hooked me up with one of the three Ronald McDonald houses that are right there in the complex, and they were amazing. So the next day I had a room to myself with. I walked in, they showed me around. I walked in the room, and there was a handmade quilt from someone, and a pillow, which I still have, which he rolls around on today, and a pirate book and a stuffed animal and a couple of gifts for me, and it was just a beautiful experience. I remember walking in and thinking, like, I'm one of the really lucky, blessed ones in that he was not ill, but if I had had to pay for that many days of a hotel, I could have done it. But there's so many people who can't. And there's so many people whose children are not ill once, but they're ill over and over again and have multiple treatments. And, I met some of those people there. And it was just a beautiful experience. I thought this is the way things should be. And this is exactly what we should be doing, taking care of people and families who are the most vulnerable. And I didn't understand until I had a child how much it hurts when your child is hurting, and the kind of compassion you suddenly get when you have a child. And so to imagine these parents whose children are ill to that degree that they don't have to worry about paying for a hotel or staying somewhere that doesn't feel safe. So it was an amazing experience.